going to ask you 5 questions, and the first thing that comes to your mind, you throw on that microphone.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Favorite band ever, all genres.
Oh my God.
He has to answer Metallica.
You're tuned in to the internet's #1 heavy metal radio show.
Press play. Hot enough to melt your speakers.
DJ GD's Metallicave.
Well, welcome, everybody. Metallicave live here on craniumradio.com, where the metal flows like wine and the underground bands come out of nowhere. Where's Ryan? How you been, Ryan? You hanging out over there? Doing good? Good to see you.
Hanging out, how you doing?
Good, man. My brother's here. Jason, what's up, brother?
Hello, everybody.
Jason, come alive. Hello?
I will.
Come alive or leave.
I'll see you guys.
Okay.
Martin's here. He's hanging out for the first time in a while. Good to see you, buddy. Way back there in the cheap seats.
Hey, nothing wrong with the cheap seats.
Nothing wrong with the cheap seats. Jason's here. What's up, brother? And we are lucky to be graced with the presence of the one and only Mr. Michael Alago. What is up, man?
Hey, man, how you doing? I'm glad to finally be here.
Oh.
I guess it's about time you had me here.
I think it is.
But I think everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and that's life. So here we are. It's a good thing, and I'm happy to be here. I don't know what I'm in store for, but that's okay.
That's okay. I can promise you it will be a fun night.
Okay, cool.
That will be awesome.
Great.
It's awesome to have you here. And we're broadcasting live all over the world, man. This isn't just regular terrestrial radio. We are broadcasting over every continent and every country in the world. I know Afghanistan used to be tuned in because we had military over there that would tune in and say, we're listening.
That's so great.
You know, it feels like we're home again, which is awesome. But I don't think there's too many out there anymore right now. So wherever you're tuned in all over the world, I really do appreciate it. It's an honor and a privilege every Thursday or a Friday eve. And right there to start off the show, double shot of Overkill. And I was in the mood because we just got done seeing Overkill this past Saturday at the Wilmot Theater. And what a freaking show it was. Unbelievable. The show started off with Sworn Enemy. Followed by Demolition Hammer, and then Overkill just took over and did what they do, and it was just an amazing show. They have not missed a step. As a matter of fact, I think they got even better live, so that's exciting. We are all in store for a killer interview with Mike. That's going to happen in a little bit, but like we just did, we're going to talk a little bit between each set and just see what's going on. But the real interview is going to start after the Metallica block, where we're going to delve into the history when he started and everything else. If you guys have any questions, I'll check them in the chat room and I'll save them and I will ask them, because this gentleman has a wealth of information stored in that brain that is wonky. Is that what you said?
I didn't say wonky, but that is an adjective. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Sometimes it's here and sometimes it's not. So let's hope it's
here.
Right here tonight.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good.
Where underground metal thrives. This is the Metallicave.
We're hanging out here on a kick-ass Thursday night here in the Metallicave with the one and only Mr. Michael Alago.
Nice to be here.
We just got done with a huge dinner, and I am so stuffed. Usually I'll eat at like 5. And then by the time showtime comes, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm so bloated right now.
Oh, don't burp and don't vomit.
No burping, no vomiting, but there is cursing.
Come on. Cursing?
So, yeah, you can curse.
I'm going to try not to curse.
Well, you're a good man.
Maybe only when I talk about my movie.
Okay.
Or if there's something in my book that has the F word.
Right. And what was the name of your documentary?
Who the fuck is that guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago.
There you go, man. We're going to talk about that coming up.
Sure.
Looking forward to that. From what I saw, I think you're loved by many. And we'll talk about that.
Sure.
Because I think there's so many things going on with metal these days and A&R, you were in that for a long time.
I was an A&R executive for 25 years. And for maybe some of your audience who doesn't know what A&R means, it means artist and repertoire. Mm-hmm. And artist and repertoire is the most important department at a record company. If you don't sign great artists and you don't make great records and they don't sell, you don't have a job. Thank God I had a job for 25 years.
I think the signing of Metallica gave you like a 10-year.
Yes, of course. I could do anything at the record company.
Right. But you were.
I made a lot of great records, and I don't say that out of ego. I've just been a hard worker,
Yeah, right.
and all that hard work really paid off.
Right,
you know.
right. And we'll talk about it
Sure.
later. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a great conversation.
All right.
So for those of you who are tuned in right now, go on your social media. Let everybody know you're tuned into the Metallicave tonight. We just started the show, and it's already kicking ass, but with the interview, it's just going to take it up another notch, as we always do. So looking forward to that. We're going to learn everything. Everything.
That sounds dangerous, but okay, let's go.
Okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go along.
Sure.
But when you were growing up, we'll go real quick. CBGBs, or the Ritz. Lemoore.
Sure, I grew up in Brooklyn, underneath Trick Avenue in the Bay Ridge Borough Park area of Brooklyn. And maybe, if you like, I put out a book. Can I read you one paragraph from it?
Please, please, yeah.
So the book is called I Am Michael Alago, Breathing Music, Signing Metallica, Beating Death. And the book opens with Brooklyn, because that's where I grew up. And I'll just read you the first paragraph.
Sure.
I came out of the womb loving music. There was never a day that music didn't encompass my every waking moment. In 1966, I started listening to 77 WABC on my portable transistor radio. The Beatles, Steppenwolf, Aretha Franklin, Martha and the Vandellas, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, the Beach Boys, and Dusty Springfield. A few years later, I watched Creedence Clearwater Revival, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Grand Funk Railroad, and Todd Rundgren on American Bandstand. That music was my lifeline. It was my nourishment. That was how I grew up. It was the beginning of my journey.
And a hell of a journey it has been.
Sure, it's
Absolutely
been
awesome.
crazy.
The passion that you have, even to this day, with what you do, is far beyond anybody's I've ever seen.
Oh, well, that's
You know?
nice of you to say.
Oh,
I
it's
just,
the truth.
always knew as a little kid I wanted to be in the music business. But, what did that mean? I didn't play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. I just, I knew I wanted to be in music because of everything I saw and heard
Yep.
on all those great music shows on television.
Yeah, man. So let's enjoy this right now. So Whiplash. Do you remember seeing Whiplash back in the day? I mean, not the song, but the band. They were a thrash metal band started back in 1985. Tony Patara. It was actually the Three Tonys.
Oh my God, this is like bringing it back. Once you start talking about
Yeah.
stuff, my brain gets stimulated, but sometimes it's like, you ask me and I'm like, I have no idea what day it is.
And I totally get it because when you were going to all these clubs every night.
Yes,
Right.
I must have been 15, 16 years old.
Right.
And back then it was a different world where you just didn't get carded a lot. So we just wound up going to these places, and usually the door person or the owner would say, you can come in, but if I see alcohol in your hand, you're out of here.
That's cool.
So, we would drink outside and then just go into the venue.
Yeah. So Whiplash was a band back from 1985, Power and Pain, and they're still making music today. They were a big part of the scene back then with Lemore's and the Ritz and all that
I
stuff.
probably did see
I'm
that.
sure.
but-
There's actually a picture
of me?
of you
Uh-oh.
from back then
Yes.
with Tony Patara.
Oh, Tony, of course, yes.
Yeah.
And Mila from Creator,
Yes.
and our friend Dominic, of
Yes,
course.
yeah.
I'm holding oh my God, Nancy, I told you.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm holding a colored vinyl of Creator, and
Very
we're all
cool.
like screaming our heads off, and it was right outside of Lemoore in Brooklyn.
That's awesome.
Okay, now I remember
See,
stuff.
it comes back.
It comes back, it certainly
Awesome.
does.
Awesome. Well, we're going to play some Whiplash right now.
Wow.
Now, this is all the way back. This is live from Lemore's, 1986.
Right on.
So check this out.
Sounds-
Maybe I think you might have been there.
I could have been.
But check this out. Here's some live Whiplash.
Now streaming live.
You're tuned in to the internet's #1 heavy metal radio show, DJ GD's Metallicave.
Oh, yeah. Hanging out here. Metallicave, CraniumRadio.com. Mr. Michael Alago's here, and we're enjoying the time between songs, talking, while songs are playing about stuff that's going on, and just enjoying the comfort of all our Metallicave cave dwellers here. Ryan's here. Martin's over there. Jay Stu's in the house. My brother's here. Bubba. Sean's here. Lars is here. And you guys all hanging out all over the world, man. That's exactly what it's all about. There's nothing which...
What's up, all? What?
Dad,
No, what's up, all you boondoggle motherfuckers?
I told you can't curse.
Switching it up.
Psych. No, you can curse. Yeah, you're an animal. That's it. He changes it up with every season. So let's see. And Stash is funny because we do the Stash Box here on the Cave, and one of the songs that he played for this week's Stash Box was not my style. It was like I don't know. It was like old time, classic.
So he's on
I don't know what it was.
Is he on probation again?
No, he's on a probation. So he's funny. So he says, "Now I'm curious. This cover of Cyndi Lauper. He goes, "You'll play that, and artillery is not for the show." But I'm like, no, the song that you chose today was no, artillery is being played tonight, bro. It was the other song. So we have Attacker, we have Artillery, and Annihilator. But there was another band that you had in there that was not Metallicave style, you know, and I just don't.
Worthy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like playing everybody, but it's like the worthy. You're right. It's not worthy for the Metallicave. We play metal here, and that song was far from metal. Although that song from Cyndi Lauper right there, from Leo Moracchioli, was a kick-ass metal cover with some banjo added to that.
Statch didn't fucking sign Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what is he? Right, you did.
No, I executive produced 2 of her albums.
Okay.
And she's a good friend.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, let me do that take again. Statch didn't executive
You're an
produce.
asshole. You're an asshole. But no, that's cool. So we did that, and then we did Heroes by Bowie by Motorhead.
Incredible.
You know? Because Bowie is just like.
Well, the greatest.
Oh, we play Bowie on Cranium Radio all the time.
Oh, good.
My show just happens to be metal, but we have so many other shows, and Auto DJ plays everything. But one of my favorites, I saw Bowie one time.
Oh, cool.
And it wasn't a Bowie concert. It was a Howard Stern birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
His 40th birthday party. But
He did I'm Afraid of Americans.
He did. I'm Afraid of Americans.
Wow.
And he did that song. It was at the Hammerstein Ballroom. That's where they had the birthday party there. And Bowie comes out. And all these people that came out were surprises to Howard, you know? And I was like, well, now I could say I saw Bowie.
So on the cover of my Facebook page, the top of it is like a Bowie picture.
Yeah.
And it's from the last photo session he ever did. And some mook just like messaged me, and he was like, "Are you ever going to take down that picture?" I said, "No, but I'm going to erase you from my page. Goodbye."
Oh, yeah.
I just got rid of him. It's like, how dare you?
Exactly. Come on. It's David friggin' Bowie.
Correct.
Man, if you could do a virtual slap through the Facebook, I'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Twice.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mary Joseph. How you did do that to David Bowie? Look, for that reason
How do you even
alone-
say that to
For
somebody?
that reason alone,
Oh, we got
never,
blocked.
Ever take that? That should title screen forever. You know your cover.
Of course.
Really good stuff. Listen, we have time for one more song before it's the 9 o'clock Metallica block. So tell me a little bit about I Hate God. Fan of those guys?
Oh, from Louisiana,
yeah.
Mike Williams?
Yeah.
Well, they're incredible. You know, they're very heavy.
Doomy.
They're usually not radio friendly at all.
That's
My type of music. They're survivors, these people, because they've been
Cool.
through a lot. I don't know what label they're on these days. It's probably some independent label.
believe so.
They might even be on Anselmo's Housecore Records.
They could be.
And if not, then Housecore got a shout out tonight.
There you go.
But they're extraordinary. You know, they're very heavy. Sometimes very sludge and slow, but you gotta really like that kind of stuff, and I do.
Yeah,
So-
I've been getting into it, like I said.
Oh, cool,
Into that
cool.
more, so.
Then you know what? You have to hear a band that I absolutely love from South Florida called Ether Coven.
Oh, yeah.
I got them signed at one point to Century Media, and then they are not on Century Media anymore, but that's okay. You know, they made a record called Everything is Temporary Except Suffering.
And record labels.
That is correct.
Right.
Yes, that and record labels. And they are very slow and very heavy, and one of my latest favorite bands
Very
for the last 2 years. Yeah,
Oh, very
Ether
cool.
Coven.
I will check those guys out
Yep.
for sure. So
Okay.
let's enjoy this. We're going to play some I Hate God. I've done this before, but it's been a long time since I've played them. And then we're going to come back after this one song and play some Metallica for you guys. So check it out. On the Metallicave.
Cranium Radio.com.
Thanks, Rye.
If it doesn't explode, it's not playing here. Cranium Radio.
Going live. All right, Metallicave live with you here on a Friday Eve, a Thursday evening here on the Metallicave, CraniumRadio.com, broadcasting live all over the world, which is the best part of what I love to do, because everybody, no matter what country you're in, and Mr. Stevenson will vouch for that, can hear the Metallicave and Cranium Radio, and it just makes me so happy, because you could be in Argentina, you could be in Illinois, you can be in Seattle, you can be in South America, which there's a bunch of people from South America tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of the Metallicave. It means the world to me. And someone just joined, and their chat room name is in Wayne, New Jersey. So they're literally in Wayne, New Jersey.
Oh.
So that's really cool. Again, we are so lucky tonight to have Mr. Michael Alago. This guy has been such a crucial part of the metal scene, all the way back from the 70s to today.
Well, no, I'm not that old.
Oh, sorry.
So maybe let's go from the 80s.
Okay.
80s sounds good.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about this. So you grow up, now you read the paragraph earlier, right?
Yes.
I thought that was such a cool way to open a book, you know? And as soon as you came out of the womb, you loved music.
Sure.
That's so cool. And in a lot of ways, a lot of our listeners, I mean, it's the same way. They love music, but your passion was a little bit different, right? I mean, you didn't want to just love music. You want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So how did that become? Because you didn't play an instrument. Right?
Sure.
But so tell me a little bit, tell our listeners, I mean, how did it all start?
Right, like I said, I always knew I wanted to be in the music business, but I didn't play an instrument. And so I used to watch all these television shows like Don Kirshner's In Concert, Soul Train, Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
Classics.
And so we'll fast forward a little bit. I'm now 19 years old, and I'm going to the School of Visual Arts, and I work part-time in a pharmacy, and the pharmacy's in the East Village. So one day I took lunch, and I'm walking down East 11th Street in the East Village, and I saw this really beautiful building called Casa Galicia, and it was a Spanish dance hall, and it'd probably been there since like the early 1900s. So I walked in, and I looked around, and it was a beautiful Art Deco building.
So cool.
Oh, really just incredibly beautiful. So there was a man in the balcony, and he's like, "Kid, what do you want?" And I was like, "I want a job, man. I just saw your sign on the door that you're opening up, like a video club." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Do you have a resume?" And I was like, "A resume? I don't even know what a resume is." Well, he kind of laughed at that. I don't know if he was laughing with me or at me.
Right.
And he said, "Come up to my office." So I went up to his office, and we started talking about music. We talked about all kinds of music, from the Great American Songbook in the 40s and 50s to present day, what was going on in the New York underground scene, top 40 music. And he said, "You know what? I'm going to give you a job. And you're going to open my mail, you're going to get my lunch, and you're going to answer my phones." And I thought, oh my God, I'm in the music business. Yeah. That was the beginning of it all. And I didn't realize at the time, this man, Jerry Brandt, may he rest in peace, he worked in the mail room at the William Morris Agency with David Geffen. And at some point, Jerry got out of the mail room, and he was working with Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke. He helped bring the Rolling Stones to the United States for the first time. Wow. He discovered Carly Simon, a group called the Voices of East Harlem. And I think if I knew all of that when I was talking to him, I probably would have lost my mind. So he gave me that job. And it was really extraordinary because I learned how to speak to booking agents. I learned how to book a room that housed 1,500 people. And about 3 years in, I knew that there was even more out there that I wanted to do. So a friend of mine, Mitchell Krasnow, said, my dad's leaving Warner Brothers, and he's going to go and re-up Elektra because it was in the crapper. Okay. So I said, "Introduce me to your dad." Mm-hmm. And this guy who became the chairman of Elektra, Bob Krasnow, I had that same conversation with Bob. I was a young kid who wanted to just do more in the music business. He called me in 2 weeks, said, "I'm going to give you a job in the A&R department." So that's the beginning of 1983. And the funny part about that was I had no idea what A&R meant. And I know I said this to you, I was going to say your viewers, your listeners earlier on, that the A&R department is the most important department at a record company. It means artist and repertoire, and you have to sign great artists. I was listening to cassettes and demos for like 25 years, so I've heard it all.
Every day, right? It was
every day, yeah, Monday to Friday. That was my job until I went out in the evening to scout talent. And so, after boxes and boxes of good stuff, you just can't have good in your life. Right. And it's very few and far between that you find greatness. Mm-hmm. And I was lucky that I have 2 really good ears that now have tinnitus from never putting earplugs in. And Metallica were the second band I signed in summer of 1984 when I saw them at Roseland. And I write about that in my book as well.
Yeah, I love that part. When I have seen it in other interviews, you approached them twice, right? You saw them on the West Coast too,
Sure,
right?
but I saw them in '83 on the West Coast, and it was a small club. It was sold out, and when it was over, I walked up to Lars and I said, "Hi, I'm Michael Alago. I do A&R for Elektra." And I looked younger than them. We were all in their 20s.
Like 2 or 3 years?
Well, maybe I was 22 years old, and they were probably 20.
Right.
And I gave Lars my business card, and he's like, we're on another label. And I said, you know what? I love you guys, and let's figure out something.
Right.
So months went by. They went on to do whatever they were doing on the West Coast. They
You
were
heard
probably
nothing,
on the
right?
road.
Nobody called
No, I was just doing my job every day, listening to unsigned music.
Right.
And then at one point he called me and said, are you still interested in us? And I said, damn right, I'm still interested in you. He said, well, we're coming to play Roseland with Anthrax and Raven. Will you come? I said, I certainly will come. And that was the night that kind of changed it all for both of us.
It's amazing.
For my career at Elektra and for their life.
It's amazing. I love that story. And the best part of it is, I've heard it in interviews before on videos.
Sure.
And watching, is the part that, like you just said, you're only a few years older. So they're probably like, come on, this guy's an A&R
Well,
guy
they
for
looked
Elektra,
at me
you know?
like, okay. But, I was the real thing. I did do A&R at Elektra. My business card was real.
Of course.
And for your listeners, I wrote a book called I Am Michael Alago, Breathing Music, Signing Metallica, Beating Death. And I did all three of those things. And I write a little excerpt. I don't know if you want me to just read a little paragraph from it.
Let's get it.
It's more than a little paragraph, but it's really short. So remember, it's summer of 1984, and my friends and I arrive at Roseland, quickly made our way to the bar, of course. I knew I was in for something earth-shattering. We ordered a few beers and met up with Bob Krasnow and Mike Bone, Vice President of Promotion at Elektra. I asked them to come and see Metallica with me because I knew I would ultimately need Bob's approval in order to get them signed. Bob and Mike both hung out at the bar during the show while I pushed my way into the crowd and eventually lost my friends. The place was packed. There must have been over 3,000 fans, all of them screaming, headbanging, raising their fists in the air. There was an intense electricity everywhere. The place reeked of beer, made up mostly of young men in jeans and black leather jackets. They all knew they were about to hear something that would completely blow their fucking heads off. When Metallica finally hit the stage, the crowd went ballistic. Although Anthrax had played a raucous first set and got a terrific reception, ultimately the crowd wasn't there for them. They weren't even there for Raven either. The crowd was waiting for Metallica to come on and destroy the place. At the start of the show, they smashed into the pounding lead of Phantom Lord with speed and brutal force, followed by the Four Horsemen, then the debut of the song For Whom the Bell Tolls. The sound was loud, raw, and crushing. The music was more intricate than I ever heard before. It broke down everything any of us ever knew about metal.
That is such an amazing. I'm going to clap for that right there.
That was awesome.
That was that right there is enough to buy the book right there.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's
$20.
right.
That's an amazing excerpt, and for those of you who are out there, you need to buy this book. I just bought this book this last week,
Oh,
and I'm
cool,
going to start
thanks.
reading this tomorrow night.
It's an easy read. A lot of people say they get through it in 2 nights. And, everyone says, well, is it a Metallica book? It's not a Metallica book. I've talked enough about Metallica for 38 years.
Yeah.
They're in my documentary, of course. The first person you see pop up is Hetfield. When I had the opportunity to write a book, I wanted to just talk about everything.
Right.
I wanted to talk about growing up in Brooklyn. I wanted to talk about my alcohol and drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk about Patti Smith and Nina Simone and Cyndi Lauper. I wanted to talk about my mom. I almost died twice. I almost died from having full-blown AIDS in the 90s when there was no medication at all. And I was on my sofa like friggin' dropping dead. But you know what? I was supposed to be here. And all that happened 32 years ago. And, right now, there's not even a semblance of the virus in my body. Because I don't drink, I don't drug, I take 1 pill a day, and it fucking, here I am.
That's amazing.
So I don't know where I'm going with this, because I have a scatterbrained
Drugs are
mind.
bad. Drugs are bad.
Okay, there you go.
That's what
Drugs
you need to
are
know. That's all you need
bad.
to know.
Right.
But that's awesome. I mean,
Just say no.
exactly. And you pretty much explained the whole
whole
of your
thing.
book.
Yes.
You said it right there because it's breathing music, signing Metallica, and beating death.
Sure.
You just summed it up right there.
Yep.
So it was
But
nice
still
to have
get the
it.
book.
I'm just kidding. No, but that's so great. I mean, you've done it all. right?
Well, I've been a hard worker for so many
Extremely
years,
hard. I mean-
and I've had so many. I've had so many great opportunities. I've had so much fun. The fun almost killed me. But it's the path that I chose, and knowing that I couldn't continue going down that path.
Right.
Like I said, I got sober 14 years ago. I don't drink or drug no matter what. I wake up in my own friggin' bed every morning.
And you have a clear head.
And I have a clear head. Being clean and sober, I show up. That's what I'm all about. I show up for my life. I show up for your life. I'm a responsible person. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. I did show up for all my stuff professionally, but personally, anything for Thanksgiving, for holidays, I would say I was going to be there, and I wasn't. So people stopped talking to me. People stopped inviting me to shit. Thank God I learned a lesson. I didn't want to be a cliche. There's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If I died, I would have been a cliche. I didn't die, so I'm not a cliche. I'm just having a really great life that I continue to live every day.
And you do, and you really live it to the fullest.
I do.
And you still go to shows?
I go to shows all the time.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So
COVID really screwed us all up. A lot of places were all closed up for the year.
Yeah.
I still haven't really gone to a big show yet. In March, I went to Tompkins Square Park outdoors, and my friend...
That was the hardcore show.
That was the hardcore show. My friend John Joseph, who is the real deal.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the Cro-Mags. And Cro-Mags, one of the best bands ever. Has a band called Blood Clot. And I went to see them in March. And it was an incredible outdoor experience. But yeah, I'm going to start going to shows again soon.
That's so cool.
Thank God the world is opening up. Even as crazy and as tricky of a world that we live in, we got to go out there. We got to do what we got to do. We got to go to shows.
You have to.
We got to be kind to everybody and, just show love and support out there for your friends and family.
And you've been doing that for a long time, and you continue to do it. That right there is...
Oh, well, thank you.
Brings me home. It makes
Thank
me
you very
happy,
much.
because,
Sure.
2020 for me is a blur.
Oh, it's a
It's a
blur.
blur,
I argued with people what day it was.
Right.
And then I was looking out my terrace one day, and I saw that the city was closing up, shops and everything, because people were looting and all that BS.
How close were you to that?
Well, I was looking out
crazy.
I live on the 15th floor of a high rise, and at one point I remember looking out, seeing the city just nailing
Did you see
stuff
fires
up.
or anything? Or?
No fires. I saw looting only once, thank God. And John Joseph and I were on the street. I was like, bro, let's turn the corner right now. Because you see these kids coming on bikes and in cars. You don't know if they're ready to throw a Molotov cocktail at you or what they got on them. And so, thank God nothing ever happened to us. But I think it's just, it brought out the best and the worst in people.
I agree, 1,000%.
But, during the pandemic, people were talking, whether it's the news or people that we know, were talking about everything being the new normal. I hate those words more than I can tell you. I have no idea what the new normal is. Nothing's been normal during this whole 2 years. But I'll be a little corny and say that in 2022, I'm looking forward to new beginnings. And I'll shut up, and here we are right now, together.
And I'm glad you're here, man.
Great.
Really, it's an honor to have you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Wow. How about some music?
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's play some tunes that you have a lot to do with.
Okay.
And you know well. And then we'll come back here and we'll continue talking.
Sure.
All right, enjoy this. On the Metallicave Cranium Radio.
.com.
That's what it's all about.
Now streaming live.
You're tuned in to the internet's #1 heavy metal radio show.
Press play. Hot enough to melt your speakers.
DJ JD's Metallicave.
We're going to dub that the Alago block. We had some Cro-Mags, Age of Quarrel, back from 1989 from Best Wishes. Anthrax, Medusa. You can't go wrong with that one. Back from 1985, Spreading the Disease. And starting that all off was Metal Church, 1984. Great stuff. Now, here's the deal. We played Cro-Mags because you're a fan and a friend of Mr. Cro-Mag himself.
John Joseph, that's right.
Absolutely awesome.
Dear friend of mine, 30 years. I was going to sign them to Elektra, but I thought that it would not have been fair to them being on a major label. As cool as Elektra was, they weren't that cool. I was the only person going out every night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So it would have been just awkward to have them there. So I just remained friends with them and supportive of them over
Very cool.
all the years. Extraordinary band. And John now has a band called Blood Clot that they're working on their second album.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Should get John Joseph in here.
We will do that sooner or later. I'm hoping sooner than later. We also played a little bit of Medusa from Anthrax. Now, the reason I played Anthrax is because you saw them
Yep.
with Metal Church. Was it Metal Church?
Raven.
And Metallica?
And
Raven.
Roseland.
It was Raven.
Yeah, Raven.
Yeah,
Yep,
thanks.
that was a
It
tour.
yeah, Raven,
Sure.
Anthrax, and Metallica over there at Roseland Ballroom. What a great venue that was, huh?
Beautiful venue. It's really shocking that nobody plaqued it so that you couldn't tear it down. I'm surprised the city never did anything. It had been there 50 years.
It's an absolute
And now
shame.
there's just some damn high rises there.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
It
and
really
one
is.
less beautiful music venue,
Yeah.
like mid-size for
Yeah.
bands who are like mid-career
Right.
to play at.
And it wasn't far from Midtown Manhattan. And
No, it's on
there's-
52nd Street and Broadway.
Yeah, right across the street from Letterman's studio.
There you go.
You know, and the thing that was, man, I remember seeing Typo Negative there back in 1996 or 97.
Mm-hmm.
And it was with Life of Agony,
Oh, cool.
and it was Halloween. It was amazing. It was an amazing show. And then I saw Typo Negative again 2 years later, Roseland Ballroom again. They played with, God damn it, I have a brain fart right now. The band that sings
That
Loco.
happens to me all the time.
Cold Chamber.
Cold Chamber.
Cold
Yeah, they
Chamber.
play with Cold Chamber and a band
Okay.
from Puerto Rico.
Called?
I
Don't remember
Yeah,
that either.
no.
Okay.
But they had a couple really good songs and really good show. But it was great to see Typo. I love Typo Negative, one of my favorite bands ever. A lot of people hanging out in the chat room. A lot of people tuned in all over the world. And I thank you, Mr. Michael Alago, for hanging out tonight, telling your stories, which are so awesome and just so they grab you. Like every story you tell, it just like makes me feel good. You know, I feel because I don't want to say we were raised in the same time. We were about 10 years off.
We are
And I
10
told you
years off.
earlier,
Right.
I'm an asshole because I missed all these shows at the Ritz and Lemoore. Now I've gone to a couple,
Sure.
you know, and then there was Studio One in Newark.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that place?
Yes.
I saw Pantera
Vague.
there. I saw Pantera there for their Cowboys from Hell. It was one of their first shows they played for the Cowboys from Hell CD.
What
and
year was that? It wasn't the same year that my White Zombie record came out, right?
That album
you know
came
what?
out in 90.
90
That
was
came
great.
out in 90, and I think my White Zombie record came out, I think, in like 92.
What a great album.
Oh, it's an extraordinary
Oh,
record. Yeah, yeah.
He's
yeah.
still putting out great stuff.
Yep.
You know, Rob Zombie's a man, and now he's coming out with the Munsters movie. He's
Yes,
the producer
he's
and
ma-
the writer. This guy's great.
director, yeah.
You know, so looking forward to that. So when you worked for Elektra,
Yep.
right, A&R,
Yes.
you know, I would say 99.9% of A&R people were for the record company. You were for the bands.
I was always for the artists. That's why I always got into trouble.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had their friggin' jobs there already.
Yeah.
I wanted to see. I mean, everybody wanted to see the artist succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime there was a problem or whatever, I always stuck up for the artist. To this day,
It's amazing,
absolutely.
and I think that's so important because
Well, it's also like when you're on a major label, the artist is always the last one to get paid.
Right.
Believe it or not. They make the money for the label, but the label makes their money back from what they've spent.
Right.
Whether
Studio
it's
time, right?
studio time, videos, tour support, marketing, promotion. They want all that money back, and then the artist makes money. So
Gotcha.
it's a frustrating thing. But if you're someone like Metallica,
Yeah.
who happens to sell millions and millions of records, at
Right.
least you're going to make your money back.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So.
And at one point, you have to stop filming me because I want to eat my donut, and I won't eat it while you're filming me.
No problem.
But no, we're still talking. I think.
Yeah, we're gonna still talk for a couple seconds, and then we'll take a break, and you can enjoy
Sure.
your amazing sugar frosted donut.
Rush.
That looks delicious.
You mean sugar
Yeah,
rush?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So you signed Metallica.
Yes.
84.
Summer of '84, August of '84. Well, I saw them August of '84 at Roseland.
Right.
So they came to my office the very next day.
So cool.
Got them, a bunch of 6-packs, Chinese food, and we just sat around the
But see,
conference room.
You got it though, because I'm sure a lot of other AR guys wouldn't have
A&R,
got him
yeah.
a beer and Chinese
But
food.
a lot of other A&R people like to say they were at that show. They weren't at that show.
Gotcha.
And I think they liked that I understood the music. I was the same age as them. I had such a passion for the music. And I I think that's why it just all worked out in the end. But like
amazing.
I said, the next day I had them come up to my office and we sat around the conference room table talking about music.
It's amazing.
They knew a little bit about the history of Elektra. So it was 84, so I gave them cassettes and vinyl of the Stooges, the Doors, the MC5, and we bonded. We really did bond.
Yeah.
And, they're extraordinary people and just great artists.
It's so cool, and I give you props for doing so much for the metal scene.
I just love music,
And you can tell, you have a passion for it, and it's like no other.
And I'll tell you a funny story about my bloody head getting attached to a rug
Oh, yeah.
in a hotel.
You want to do that now or during the next break?
Sure, I was in London. I went to see Metallica at Metal Church at the Odeon. I got fully tanked before the show with somebody from Kerrang! Magazine. The kid put me in a shopping cart, wheeled me down Kings Road, threw me off in the front of the venue. I made my way to the front of the stage, started headbanging. I cut my head wide open. I don't remember anything else after that. The next morning when everybody was, just started traveling again, Ron Lafitte, the tour manager, was like, Alago, your head is still bleeding. And it was already attached to the rug. So when I picked it up, like the scab just came off.
Oh, it was started all over again.
Oops. But those were just so much, they were fun days.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You still make your way to UK or no?
Yeah, I was in the UK. I went to London, Paris, and Berlin in 2019.
Cool.
Met up with Mila from Creator.
Nice.
I made my outpost in Berlin, the Ramones Museum. That's where I hung out most of the time, and I
my
made
God.
everybody come see me there at the
Yeah,
Ramones Museum. I love Europe, and I'm going to go back again and do that same thing, Berlin, London, and Paris again.
So friggin' cool.
Yeah.
So this is our buddy Statch. He's hanging out in the chat room. Taking a picture with Kurt Vanderhoof.
Oh, cool.
Right? What a great
Yes.
picture that is.
Yep, Kurt Vanderhoof is totally a great human being.
He really is.
Very prolific artist. He has a second band, like a progressive rock band,
Yes.
called no, I was going to say Spandau Ballet. He'd fucking
It's not
kill me.
Spandau
No. What are they? Wait. We just talked about them.
Yeah.
Presto Ballet.
Presto Ballet, yeah. there you
Okay,
go.
I'm glad that came out of
Oh,
my
man,
head.
you straighten that out.
I saved myself.
Yeah.
But now I have to have a donut.
Okay.
Unless,
No, that's okay. We'll go out on ha 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 ho.
I know this much is
True. There we go.
You're tuned into the world's greatest metal and rock station, Cranium Radio, where music flows 24/7.
Yes, music does flow 24/7 here on craniumradio.com. We're doing some of the underground now. This is what I pride myself on. The underground part is the favorite part of my show. So right there, Hate Sphere, an amazing band right there. Danish band. Before that, Bound by Years, killing it right there. Love those guys. I've been playing those guys for a long time, and they're from Denver, Colorado. And before that, some Morbid Cross from South Jersey. Really good stuff. Oh, my God. Absolutely love it. The underground scene really is saturated with amazing metal,
Incredible energy.
Incredible
Yeah.
energy. It really is. Bands can record their stuff on a laptop, master it, and put it out. And it sounds like that. So
Sometimes technology is truly your friend. That you can sit in your bedroom
Yeah.
and make an album. If,
Really is. If
You know how to turn the knobs and you know
Yeah.
what you're doing.
You're damn
You
right.
can get something killer out there.
Really.
So don't be afraid. If
Don't.
you think you don't have money to make a record,
Yep.
go to your bedroom, go to the basement,
Yeah.
get the band all set up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you feel like you can't master it yourself, there's always somebody, friend of yours, who has a little mastering room or whatnot. And maybe that's where you spend the bucks on.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid of recording if you think, you need a big recording studio to do stuff these days.
Nope.
Because with all this technology, like I said, a laptop will do.
It really
Even when
will.
you don't think so, it will do.
Seriously.
Sure.
I mean, it's so different from back in the 80s. I mean, with the cassettes, now everybody was trading cassettes back then.
Absolutely.
And then
I still have a cassette player.
Me too.
I had a VHS player up until a few months ago.
Oh, yeah?
It stopped working. Because I was playing too many Russ Meyer movies on VHS. Faster Pussycat,
Of
Kill
course.
Kill, and Lorna. Ouch. Yeah, Lorna.
Well,
yeah,
we might have to get you another VCR there.
Okay.
But, yeah.
No,
We'll have to-
VCR.
VCR,
Oh, VCR.
yeah.
For my VHS.
For your VHSs, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. So-
young people,
Yeah.
record the music. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, do it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear it. You know,
Yeah.
we all want to hear it. So get yourself out there. We live in different times. It may be a little harder. Get it done. Play all your friendly neighborhood bars and your not so friendly neighborhood bars. You know, go out there and make the most of it.
With the way things are today, I mean, do you get still to this day? Do you get a lot of bands sending you stuff?
No,
or
not really.
Okay.
No. Because I don't give people my address.
Right.
But yeah, you know, if I do talk to people on, you know, Instagram or Facebook, you know, I'll just tell them, you know, direct message me a song or
Okay,
messenger
cool.
me a song.
That's cool.
I mean, I'm always open because you never know. The possibilities are out there
Sure.
for that next Metallica.
You never know.
Listen, everything is cyclical.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, it's been 38 years since I signed them. So maybe there's going to be a new version of them for 2022,
You never know.
2023.
You never
You
know.
never know. That's the truth.
True. You know,
Absolutely.
And we talk about this a lot on the Cave. Like,
Yep.
once Metallica decides to retire and Anthrax and all these bands that we grew up with
Sure.
decide to retire, are there going to be
Which I
any-
don't think that's
Yeah,
going to happen
don't say
yet.
that.
Not
Don't
anytime
Please,
soon.
Okay.
But when it does happen, I mean, are stadium tours going to be gone?
No, because like I said, everything is cyclical. There's always going to be someone who can play a stadium, you know? So I don't think, no.
Is there anybody out there right now that's not in the top 4 or 5 metal bands that can do that? Like right now?
What, play stadium?
A stadium.
Ghost.
Like they'll sell out a stadium. Like say we're gonna
Ghost.
do it, we're gonna do. Well, Ghost is
Ghost
doing
has been doing
arenas.
that.
They're doing arenas. I don't know if they're ready for a stadium.
Well, they did a stadium. We saw them in a
Well-
stadium. It was sold out. Just saying. When we saw them in, what is it, Barclays Center.
That's an arena.
Oh, it's an arena. Okay.
It's an
Close.
18,000, but stadiums
It's a lot.
are 60,000.
Oh,
We're talking-
stadiums.
Yeah, we're talking like
that's-
Metallica does now. I mean, it's going to be really tough.
But you know, there are the bands like you were just saying. You know,
Yeah.
Volbeat and Ghost are
Yeah.
going on the road.
They are,
They're
yeah.
going to be doing the Prudential Center
Yeah.
next year,
We'll be
February
there.
10th. Me too.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's meet up.
That's going to be an incredible show.
Oh. Two of my now a lot of people give shit to Volbeat. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this guy.
I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not the biggest fan. You know, I like some.
Right.
I like some songs here and there, but I'm not the biggest Volbeat fan. And that's.
And
that's
I think Volbeat has Lars to thank for bringing them
Yep.
on tour.
They got
back
big
in
for-
Death
for
Magnetic
Metallica,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Sure.
You know, and they played the Orion Fest, and I think since those two tours, they've really grown with a lot of people love them.
Well, it's the same thing with Ghost. I mean, Metallica got Ghost huge. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for that Orion Festival, nobody would have known who they were.
Well, yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
You know? You know Ghost, right, Michael?
I do know Ghost.
What do you think of those
Tobias
guys?
is a friend. I didn't know that they were going to really decide to go more,
Radio.
dare I say, pop or radio oriented.
Right.
But they do it beautifully, you know.
Yeah.
I like the earlier stuff. The other night on my Gimme Metal show,
Yes.
I played. What did I play? From the Pinnacle to the Pit.
Oh, it's a great
from Meliora
song. Yeah, it's
album. You know,
Meliora is probably
That's
my
my
favorite.
my
album.
great record.
Favorite album.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they decided, you know, they were going to change, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know, again, you can't stay the same. You can't be stagnant.
Right.
Because, again, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
So you got to do what feels right for you, and then you got to hope the audience decides to follow you.
Right.
It's
Now,
always like that.
What we've been hearing
Yes.
through the grapevine
Yes.
is that they're going to go back into the dark music.
Let's hope
I
so.
hope so. Yeah.
That'll be the
Yeah.
first thing I ask Tobias when I see him.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know day of show.
They announced the album name. Did you catch it?
I didn't see the album. I know the song "Hunter's Moon."
The Hunter's
Oh,
Moon is
Hunter's
out
Moon
now.
is a
Yeah.
new single.
Yeah.
Great video as
I like
well.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
it's out
it.
now. I think it's a great single. It's in the Halloween
Kills.
movie- Halloween Kills,
Halloween
yeah,
Kills,
soundtrack.
yeah.
I thought that
really
was cool.
good stuff.
Great
my,
video.
my daughter saw the movie and she's like, "Oh my God, they played Ghost at the end." I go, "Yes, they did." You know, it's just really cool to see that Ghost is getting recognition that they do deserve.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny with Ghost. It's like there's no middle. You either love Ghost or you hate them.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's like a Merciful Fate ripoff." No, it's got nothing to do with
right,
Merciful
exactly.
Fate. Don't say that.
No.
You know, come on, man. King Diamond and Merciful Fate is Merciful Fate.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, they are
not
something
copy-
unto themselves.
Yes. Ghost
Absolutely.
is not copying frig. Come
No.
on. That,
Dude,
and
people
actually,
are such haters. Come on.
they are. There's a lot of haters, and it goes for everything. Like, even with Metallica. Like, when Saint Anger came out, oh, the drums.
Right.
Or Load came out. It's not Metallica.
I like Load.
But it is. I do too.
I like Loaded, too.
And I opened up my show the other day with King Nothing.
Nice.
You know,
That's a
great song.
It's a great song.
I mean, that's killer.
Yep.
You know.
I like that song.
What is your
It's great.
show?
Oh, well, it's not my show. It's a show that I program called Gimme, Gimme, Gimme Metal. And I program it every other month. So I get about 26 songs. It's 2 hours of heavy music. And there's a live chat room component to it. So I always love chatting with people on it. And that's the show. Gimme Metal, Gimme Radio.
And Sirius, or where is it?
You know what? I don't know where they're...
No, it's Gimme Metal. It's their own app. They have an app.
Oh, that's right.
Cool.
They have their own app. Thank you.
Yeah. It's something that is new, and they're competing. It's another internet radio station that is doing what they need to do to get the metal out there. And I tell you what, they do a great job in doing that, but we do the same thing here on Cranium. We try to get the word out of all kinds of metal and rock and all that other stuff. And you know what? It's what it's all about. I think internet radio is the future. You know, it's free.
Absolutely.
It's free.
Absolutely.
All these cars are coming out with Wi-Fi built in, so you can be on the way to a vacation spot or driving 15 minutes down the road. You can tune in to Cranium and hear amazing metal and rock for free. You know, it's like,
And it's not a heavily. Is heavily a word?
Yeah, it is.
It is now.
Yeah.
It's not a heavily programmed show where, like, top 40. You hear the same top 40. You
No,
hear
you
the
don't.
same 40 songs all the time. But
Right.
it's great when you have independent podcasts
I
and stuff
agree.
like Cranium that you get to hear a wide variety of rock and roll and metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of listening, because you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
And it's generally always great and
You're-
always new. And you're always helping people discover some of these new people, like you mentioned earlier, like Morbid Cross, who sounded friggin' great.
Oh, so great. You know, and
Everyone loves Morbid Cross when they hear them.
I need
Yes.
I need a stick, Morbid Cross. Hi, Michael Alago here. I love your stuff. Can I have a medium T-shirt, a couple stickers, and whatever music you have out now, please?
Yep,
Thank
it's
you.
amazing.
Cheers.
It really is. And the thing about Cranium is we're commercial free.
Even better.
It's commercial free, and if you listen for the radio station for a week, you will not hear a duplicate song. We have so many friggin' songs in our catalog that hearing a duplicate song will never happen in a week, you know? And we pride ourselves on the underground, which is the best part of us. You know, we'll play your Anthraxes and your Metallicas and stuff like that, and it'll be like, you just heard Slayer, Rain and Blood. The next song you hear might be...
Ether Coven
It
from
might be-
South Florida.
We got to get those guys on. But it
They're
might be like
killer.
the Beatles. You know what I'm saying?
You never know.
It might be Genesis. It might be the Rolling Stones. But then it'll follow up by Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
We play a little bit of everything, and the mix is phenomenal. It's like no other station. Believe me. I say that
listened
as
to it.
an
The mix
owner.
is great.
I'm not. Not only am I the proprietor of the Metallicave, I'm co-owner of CraniumRadio.com, and I am so proud. I would never have put any money into this if I didn't think that Cranium was something that is, not incredible.
Going anywhere.
Yeah.
But it is.
It's I take a lot of pride in what we do. You know, our DJs are phenomenal.
should.
And our
Absolutely.
auto DJ, where music plays 24/7, even when there's no DJ, has a great mix of everything.
So it's like a ghost.
It's like a ghost.
Not only are you an owner, part owner, you're also a listener.
I listen all the time.
Right.
Yep, I listen all
That's
the
why we get
time.
all this new music that people haven't
Oh,
heard
I'm telling
before.
you.
Thank you.
So we got some questions for you, real quick. We call this the Fast Five.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to ask you 5 questions,
Yes.
and the first thing that comes to your mind, you throw on that microphone. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Favorite band ever, all genres.
Oh my God.
He has to answer Metallica.
No, he doesn't. Bowie.
Well, my favorite artist is David Bowie.
Okay.
And Patti Smith. And
Okay.
Metallica.
Oh,
I'm
see-
sorry, I have to cheat.
All right, so you know what? I said band, so it
Oh,
could
bands. Metallica.
be. Okay. Favorite color?
Black.
Me too. Favorite dinner?
Pizza.
Me too.
Yeah.
Favorite ice cream?
Vegan, chocolate, brownie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, it's
Nice.
incredible. Me and Doyle from the Misfits, that's all we eat is vegan ice cream together.
Doyle's awesome.
Doyle's the best. He's the greatest.
I saw him
He's
at
my,
Debonair
He's my
Community.
angel.
He is a great guy.
Yes.
I think of all the pictures I've seen on Google of you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Most of them are with Doyle.
That's correct.
From different time frames. You know,
Yes,
it's really
correct.
cool.
Yeah.
Favorite vacation spot?
Oh,
Anywhere. What's your happy place? And don't say on your terrace with your flowers.
no, I know. My terrace was my happy place when we were under
COVID,
lockdown.
yeah.
But you know, when I travel, I mostly like to go to cities. And I may have mentioned earlier that in 2019, right before the pandemic, I went 5 days in London, 5 days in Paris, 5 days in Berlin. I may do the same thing. But you know what? I want to go back down to South Florida. I love Wynwood. I love South Beach.
Very
I
cool.
love all that.
The Keys? Are you a fan of the Keys? Have you
I
been
love the Keys. I love the Hemingway house that they have
shit.
all those cats with 6 toes.
Oh shit!
No, all the cats have 6 toes on their paws.
That's amazing.
Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah.
The Micahels would love to hear that because they love cats.
I love cats too.
Our listeners, the Micahels down in Pensacola.
Oh, hey Myers. One of my first cats, her name was Foxy. She was a Gray Persian. She was the meanest cat known to man. If people came over to the house, I'd have to put her in the bedroom for
Oh,
real.
boy. Yeah.
And I had her from when I was 12 years old until I was 35.
Oh.
She lived 23 years. Yeah. That's because she was so mean.
Hey, it happens. That happens. So you can get a cat that loves their stomach rubbed,
Yeah.
and then you get a cat from hell.
Yeah.
You never know
Or
what you
if
get.
you rub their stomach for too long, it's like, I didn't tell you to rub it that long, and they just rip your arm off.
And
Yes,
there- yeah,
of
there you
course.
go.
No
Nice.
warning.
No, never a warning. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so listen, we're going to close this up. Again, you're the best.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
But here's some Plague Years. For those of you who have never heard them,
Plague Years.
Yeah.
Guys, I love you. Circle of Darkness is the album. Go out and get it.
check it out now. Here's
Yeah,
some Plague Years.
Michigan in the house.
CraniumRadio.com.
Oh, .com.
Now streaming live.
You're tuned in to the internet's #1 heavy metal radio show.
Press play.
Hot enough to melt your speakers.
DJGD's Metallicave.
All right, still hanging out here on the Metallicave CraniumRadio.com where the metal flows all night and all over the world, which is awesome. And we got confirmation of Australia tonight, which is really cool. And I want to thank you, Mr. Michael Alago, for
Oh,
being here
thank
tonight,
you for
man.
having me. I'm so happy to be here.
It was an awesome night.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, you're the best. You really
Hearing
are.
a lot of great stuff that you've been playing of the underground metal scene,
Really good
which
stuff.
bands I haven't even heard of, which when I go home, I'm going to Google them and YouTube
Cool,
them and
cool.
reach out to, what is it, Morbid Cross?
Morbid
I'm
Cross.
reaching out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Never Reborn from
Never Reborn from Arizona. Okay.
A lot of bands. I mean,
Sure.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I totally
Oh,
appreciate it.
So awesome.
And I'm glad my brain worked tonight.
I am too.
Mostly.
Yeah, you did
Okay,
great. It was
okay,
an awesome
fine.
time. Awesome time. Couple more questions from
Sure.
listeners.
Oh, yeah.
These were sent to me on Facebook.
Okay.
What advice would you give to someone wanting to enter the music business?
Yeah, it's a tough business. You have to know exactly what kind of department you might want to be in the music business, and I don't. You know, that's a tough answer even
Yeah.
because if you're not going to do A&R, are you going to look to work in marketing or publicity? Have a resume. Say a lot about yourself in the resume, and then after that, you just got to cross your fingers. You know,
Yeah.
if you know people, network with your friends in the music business, help, with that resume, and maybe they can help you get a job of your choice.
That's cool. Nice job.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's really, I never want to complicate stuff. So if you have a resume, be very specific about what you want to do in the business and just go for it.
Cool.
And sometimes it's not that simple, but the answer has to be simple because the complications will come as you go down the road.
Very cool. Well, you did great.
Okay.
That's a nice answer.
Okay.
I
yeah.
think the listener will appreciate that.
Well, it's an answer.
it is.
Sure.
Here's another one. What is coming up for you in the near future?
Oh, wow. Thank you for asking that. In the near future, let's see. Well, my documentary, Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago, was on Netflix and Amazon Prime for 3 years. My contract was up, so I think in the first quarter, which is around the corner of 2022,
Oh, my God.
on a bunch of new platforms, we're re-releasing the film.
Very cool.
You know, I'm out there still promoting my biography. I am Michael Alago, breathing music, signing Metallica, beating death. You can get that for like $20
Yeah.
on Amazon.
Yeah, great. I can't wait to read it. I
Right.
cannot wait.
And you know, I've been taking a lot of black and white portraits backstage at shows,
Yeah.
so I might work on a black and white portrait book.
Very cool.
Yeah, I got to find a publisher.
Very cool,
Any publishers out there, I'm looking for you.
That's freaking awesome. Okay, all right. So
Yes.
one more question.
Sure.
This is just a random question that someone was asking. What can you tell bands trying to make it these days compared to years ago?
Get out! No, go ahead.
It's a very different business. It's more difficult. If you think you're great, be out there all the time. Play your best shows that you can play. Put your best foot forward, because you never know if someone like myself is out there in the audience. It sometimes only takes one person to get you to that next level. So, you know, be out. If you're an independent band and you're making a cassette or a CD or a piece of vinyl, also have T-shirts, stickers,
merch.
hoodies. Merch is so important because, you know, a lot of times these days, if you're an independent band out on the road, merch is where you're going to make your money. So
Yep.
be out there with all that stuff. Be the best band that you can be, because there's other bands behind you that are just going to try and follow you. So always put your best foot forward when you're out there performing live.
Very cool. Well, again, Michael, thank you
Was
so
that
much.
okay?
Good
That was
advice.
perfect.
Okay, good.
That was an awesome
Simple
phrase.
to the point.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
being
well,
a
thank
part
you
of
for
the show.
having me.
I'm
And I'm
honored
glad
to
my
have you.
brain really did work tonight.
It did.
It stumbled for a minute, but I got back on track.
You killed it. You
Okay.
absolutely killed it.
Great.
And it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
And,
It's great to be here.
it's awesome.
See you again somewhere.
I want to thank everybody
Okay.
for hanging out.
Thank
Listen,
you.
we are far from done. We got the Statch Block coming up next.
And it starts right now on the Metallicave
Cranium Radio.com!